Welcome everybody to Citizen Sleeper. We are on a, well, more outside of the system space station that is more, I would say, lawless than anything else, and we are a so-called sleeper. A sleeper is a person that transferred their memories, their mind, into a cyborg body and doesn't have their original body anymore. Now, sleepers are linked to the corporation, which means that without the corporation we have trouble surviving. AKA, we cannot actually survive without stabilizer, or else the artificial organs and things will break down. But yeah, we couldn't live that life anymore, with the corporation. The work they had us do and things like that was way too much. It was more like slavery. So we decided to try and escape, which we actually survived, surprisingly, traveling through cold space like that. But yeah, the only one, I guess, from our friends or our group, sadly. It seems, at least so far. But yeah, we are now at the space station and trying to, live and survive. We have a bounty hunter that we have to give money to every couple of days, which we hopefully can get rid of soon with the tracker. But yeah, we have a person that wants to stop one of the high bosses, so to speak, from doing his stuff. She wants to get out of High Boss Yatanga's clutches. We have a ship that, if we help there, we can use as our escape. And yeah, we have one more cycle for Feng until we can actually do something there. We have one more cycle for Dokbi until we can invest more. And we have 3 more cycles for the club until we have to invest there. We need to extract Yatanga data for Sabine. That means we need to hack this. Since we're a cyborg, we have a link to all the old access points and all of the access points in the space station, which means that we can actually get old data or hack data. Okay, we got that. That's a Tanga data 1. I think we need 3 or so for her. Let's see. And for this data you need to match the input here, which we can't. So that sucks. But it's fine. And there's nothing else to do. Let's have Nash data. Also I wanna not hack too much currently, because the bar up here shows the hunter, which is basically a antivirus that is trying to get us, and I don't know how much luck we will have to escape it all the time. So yeah, I don't want to provoke that. Neutral outcome. Terminal chirps the data quickly tucked away in Sabine's encrypted system. Nice. Okay, we need 2 more, but we cannot do that right now. So the only work-related thing we can do right now is the unit assembly stuff at the ship. So let's use the... I wanted the structural fitting. Or do I want the... No, I want the systems fitting, since we have the bonus here. Hopefully we can get into quality control or something later. But yeah, let's just... do all of that with all of our points. And this shouldn't take too much energy. No, it doesn't. That's good. Okay, we got a bit of money, but I need to save some up. But that was basically today. So let's end the cycle here. But yeah, we're trying to hopefully now get our tracker disabled, or hopefully try to get parts of it disabled. So I'm on the side doing some auto battles in Pokemon TCG Pocket, because I've been very unlucky with event stuff. As you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, Sleeper. Puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Go where? To see Heart on Earth. Gives you a sideways glance. Isn't that what you were here for? Steps into a passageway, guiding you down the ring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. The data Europe, well done by the way, he grins. Tells me Harden is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn to a dimly lit side passage. Confront him? That's right, it's the perfect time. Feng slips into a dark service tunnel where somewhere in the black a water pipe drips. It's him, Sleeper, the same Harden Hurst. A worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. Solheim was the original station, by the way, and Harden Hurst is one of the original people that was very corrupt. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Havana when it first broke off from the Union. Or Solheim collapse. It's I guess this is the old Havana, Solheim, whatever station thing. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what guy you know about the what the heck? What you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day and the next Ireland's Union took power. So yeah, Solheim was the original organizers that run the station, and then it was taken over by the Union. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. Pay got smaller, the cost higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a breath on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker onto the mistakes. The accidents were coming non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking pride instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time Solheim was folding up, dragged into card cases in the central system, while the severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. Yeah, reading today is apparently not as much my thing, but that's fine. The riots came after the collisions at Dock 2. A young QED. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlen and how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the docks while my father joined the improvised crews, trying to see up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Really called me. Feng pauses in the dark. They sealed it up though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us on the black apart. Feng finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Harden, shits who held their place, rode it out and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Guess that's what money gets you. Things start walking again. That's why I can't just let him stir about the shipyard. This time his past catches up with him. Yeah, we should think about this. Feel free, but I'm going now. Maybe do you have a plan, dude? Finger joins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. To the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. Sorry, but this is crazy. I want a plan. This is crazy. Feng turns to look at you. Don't come then, I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. What is it then, Sleeper? Are you coming or not? I cannot leave him alone in this. Like, that would be even more stupid. Feng grins. Let's show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex snatches of the construction base, always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses. Skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long you cross onto a huge dry dock locked on one side of the sighted horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sounds are stretched out by the vast space so that the wheeling, cutting and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. I mean, it is like a ship that will be like a large, long travel, go to a completely new place to live development kind of thing, so you know, makes sense that it's pretty ginormous. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across a gantry, and at the front 2 men, one gesturing towards the ship, the other stick in, clearly dressed and with a shock of grey hair. Harden. You and Feng say this name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the 4 men gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and Harden nodding along. Hardenhurst? Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a ripping echo. The figures turn. Yes? Harden asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You're a traitor, Harden, a Soheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Feng's voice steady and strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadows of, against everything Erland stood for, everything Havanash stands for. You have no place on the station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Harden nods. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him, some are smiling, the others nervous. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Asked Harden, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Harden, his hands drumming at the side. Harden leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Harden turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent. What are you, if not exactly that? Looks around at the group who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You're a product of SNR. You have no place in Havana's shipyard. Who knows what signals you're sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Feng holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I'm a systems, and I have records that link you directly to Soheim right here. Turns to the foreman again. So once again, I'm asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Harden's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at the members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear now the echoing sound of boots and walkways, coming from all angles at once and then settling behind you. Please, says Harden, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can have a talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black items at the side. Feng spits. Harden, you shithead! You can't wiggle out of this one! Security officer thrusts their weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. You look at Feng, he shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, says Feng. And he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. And that is why I said we should have a plan, because, let's face it, that means he knows about us now, and he can take steps about us. are against us. We could have eliminated him another way, a more sneaky way, where he couldn't have escaped with the help of maybe a council member or something. And then we would have had more of a chance, but no, he had to run in there. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Fang picks up the pace. He tried to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Fang is grinning at you. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. The Slater web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Fang. What is that? That, Sleeper, is something you worm added to Hayden's personal state. We're tracking his outgoing messages, Fang grins, looking ghostly in the uplet of the screen. The old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from a point to a point. All these dots? These are Harden's values, the one he is messaging right now, and we are going to find them all. That was on purpose? Of course, Harden isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Okay, so he had a plan. I'm a bit more calm now. Doesn't mean that we're not knee-deep in shit here, but hey. Fang glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on his shoulder, Fang drifts away back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Better knee-deep or than neck-deep. Well, to be fair, like, it adds up. With this one, we are knee-deep in shit. Then we have the bounty hunter. We have our data tracking still from the corporation. And we may get Yatanga at our neck very soon. So I would not necessarily call that anything good. Okay, so I cannot interact with him, that is the thing. I can do helping out here and trading, which we should do. Nice. Ah. Man, that's annoying. Also, we are hungry, but that's okay. We can get food very soon. I don't know how much money we need for the... payment of the agent, but I'm gonna try to get some and hopefully we can sell them at a good price. I wanna level up my scrap thing. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna see. We should be able to do some stuff there. There, Ort Exchange. Sell some components. Neutral outcome, yeah, photo. When I become a trusted trader, that's our goal here. And we didn't quite make back what we paid, but hey, look, Ort Fabricator, reclaim fabrics. Shipments cannot build from scratch, but if you have enough salvage, fragments can be reassembled with a fabricator. Okay, that is actually pretty good to see. We should be able to get more of Yatanga's stuff. I'm just worried about the hunter. We need one more. Please be a 2. Ah, it's a 1. That's annoying. Oh, we cannot, like, we have to match that up. I don't want to awaken the hunter, but I don't think we have more of any Yatanga, so I'm just gonna, like, leave it as this for now. Yeah, we don't have any, and next time the hunter's gonna be there, so I don't wanna do it. Let's try this with our bonus, but this may not work out. Oh, actually, because I hasn't seen the web's systems running. Okay, we got a good outcome, and we got a negative. Yay, that means we didn't get bonus, but we got a little bit of money. I'm gonna leave it at 4 for now, because I need to focus more on this, but let's get some food. And then let's get her the scrap of Yatanga data. And we need one more. So Sabine is the doctor that supplies us with the stabilizer we need. The problem with that is she's still in, like, with the Yatanga group, or Yatanga is their leader, which isn't the best. Okay. Let's risk it for the biscuit. Let's hope we can escape. As familiar threats warp around you, bind you, test you. Entry submit. Hunter strange head bobs in your vision. Your ally and the sealed dogs cannot save you. In that globed head you see whirling strings of data, so many spinning. Are they threatened to tear through the skin and whip out into the void around? What happened to this creature? The threat squeezes and you lose that sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they are broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. Exactly what I've been saying. Okay, let's get Sabine the data. We need to be careful of Hunter. Very careful. Because we don't know what it is, how strong it is, anything. Okay. As you turn away from the terminal, the final cache of your Yatanga data uploaded, the air crackles with white noise. Sleeper? Sabine's voice, weaker than before, comes through the haze. Sabine? Slight relief comes through the layers of noise. The call must be coming in from somewhere in the station. This has to be short. I don't know if Yatanga are monitoring me. The voice is hushed, distant. You try to focus on it. The data you've been bringing in from Yatanga agents, there's something in it. I don't understand. A shrill howl rattled through the signal. This data is all gleaned from their implants, records of integration with their nervous systems, performance analysis, error rates, usage data. I installed many of these implants and I didn't enable any of this functionality. Their voice dips under the level of the noise like a swimmer slipping beneath the water. You listen to the waves for a few seconds before Sabine re-emerges. Has to be somehow baked into their wetware interface, and that's not all. The systems compiling this data are connected to some kind of transmission protocol. It's being broadcasted. Wait, why? Every Yatanga enforcer is equipped with black market implants, retinal enhancements, adrenaline boosters, pain suppressors. These implants are gathering data on themselves, on the enforcers' bodies, on their performance. Why? I can't tell. But I can promise you these foot soldiers have no idea this is going on. The background tone switches, dropping to a grainy rumble. If they knew, I don't imagine they would be happy with the situation. Yatanga could have a mutiny on their hand. You lean towards the terminal, straining to listen to Sabine's faint voice. I need a few cycles to pull this all together, but this might be information I need to pressure Yannick into releasing my debt. Yannick? He's one of the heads of Yatanga. They pause. It's better you don't know him. Keep it that way. Suddenly a banging echoes through the call. Sabine's voice is suddenly whispered. Panicked. I have to go. Come back in 4 cycles. Then the sharp crack of a disconnect and silence fills the apartment. You step back from the terminal. What does Yatanga have to gain from monitoring its own members? You try to recall what you know about the gang, but you have little to go on. You think of Toshiro, Sabine's commander, his mirrored teardrop implants set below hard eyes. What data could they be gathering? And more importantly, where are they sending it? You reflexively rub your forehead, trying to think. Can you really trust Sabine? How did they come to be a Tango's doctor in the first place? Think of their kindness, their care, but also that glaze, a look of recognition that they gave you when they first met you. That look stays in your mind as you slip back out of the apartment, glancing around as you close it up and drift into the corridors of the station, unable to shake the unpleasant sensation of being observed. Yeah, I think we're being watched here, and that sucks. Enjoy your lurk. We need more money. I don't know how much he wants. It's going to be small. Yeah, it's gonna be probably like 200 or something, and I don't know if I can afford that. Okay. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gathers outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers, and you are either called for shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd's restless and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with a supervisor where you were praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. And you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for the numbers to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. Hey, sleeper, wait up! Lem's voice trembles as he shuts off the rumble of the crowd. You turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arms. Lem! Good to see you, friend. He's breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. You made the work team, good for you. Tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. Shh, baby, give me a second here. He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her, and the cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side. Shiny streaks down both of his cheeks. As he does, you see he's clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Is Mina okay? She's good. We just had to rush up here. Puts his hand on her shoulder as she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. Stretches. I don't know. A noise sounds from the entrance. Klaxon, followed by a list of numbers growing brightly on the display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling up as people try to wait to the entry checkpoint. Lynn stops and turns back towards the crowd and glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number. Shit, Mina. He starts patting the pockets of his gear and glancing around. Go, I'll watch her. He blinks a little, staring. Thank you. He crouches to Mina. You're gonna stay with a friend here, okay? They're going to keep you safe, and he stands back up. Here, take her bag. He shoves it into your hands. She's got food, shit, I have to go. Backs away into the crowd. Mina, I will back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lem disappears into the rolling crowd who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Mina stands staring, suddenly small without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed look you can't quite read. Hi, Mina. She holds a stare unmovingly, the two parallel tear tracks still glinting on her cheeks. You okay? She sniffs and looks down. You nudge the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate sits on top, blinking in low battery warning, and tucked beside is a ragged rabbit, hand-sewn. Take the rabbit. You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. And also, hello there, Roman. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. What's the name? Mina turns away and looks at the entrance to the shipyard. This isn't going well. Give it the rabbit. You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun, she says, staring you down ferociously despite her size. Hi, Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. He doesn't speak, she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She walks Bun in front of you and walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breed, or if you rust. But before long you're talking about rabbits, and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the ice heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bum and the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. Sturdy and tired, but Mina leaps up his legs and onto his arm as he stumbles backward. You two get on okay? He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulder. More than okay. Mina sees a smile from Lem's arms, her suspicions gone. Well, looks like Mina can be nice. Pokes her in the ribs, and she squeals in the light. Thank you, friend, I mean it. He gives you a warm, white smile. I owe you. Look, he glances around. Seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to her place on the lowland. Grinned sheepishly. If you have time. But now, I have to take this on to eat. He plays ad biting Mina, and she giggles in response. See you, sleeper, he waves and then stumbles off into the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spaces as Mina's slaughter echoes down the corridor in big squeals. We got a new drive, that's nice. Your work as a junior tech has qualified you to work on the team handling the final tech fit for the Sidereal Horizons Bridge, a vast job. This is gonna take a while, so might as well place 1 in there. Positive outcome, that is amazing, that goes 2. Okay, so yay. Mina's just cute, and I'm happy to help them, so why not? But I really need money, so... well, let's look into there. Okay, take it out so we can actually help him. I cannot do that right now. I need the money. So let's hope I can get some money and hopefully a good outcome to get some food in, so we don't have to pay. Yes! Ah, amazing. Okay, I don't think this is gonna be enough, but we have to end this day. This is gonna be, I don't know, it could be 200, could be more. I don't know if I wanna know. Well, we're in deep shit here, so... also, we really need the money for the thing, because we're so low here. For the stabilizer, okay. Okay, that is not too bad. I thought it would be worse. Can't believe you just did that. Even smoke laughter comes from along the bar. You look over to see him leaning across the pool of light, empty glasses and spilled drinks glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this cycle the place is packed, a lot of spacers mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Ethan spins a glass on the bar. Or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I've had to put down. They don't pay. Okay, wait. Ethan gets on his feet, the glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? 1 round of drinks and we're even? Sleeper, come on. His hands come to rest on the butt of his headgun dangling from his chest holster. What's wrong with you? Ethan nods hard and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? I'd think someone in your position might have a better idea how all this works. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with SNR, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. Close the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You could just run away from your contract. You're dead? You could just steal that natty little body of yours and take it for a joyride. Play human for a cycle or two. You don't understand. It's you, Sleeper, that doesn't understand. Some of us pay our debt, but it's all harder because of idiots like you. Though I should thank you. Ethan nods, his head heavy, for giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know. Real bounties. If I knew catching satellite escapees like you was so easy, I would have changed plans ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Shoot me or let me leave. Oh, I see. Tough 'em up here. He gestures wildly at the crowd. Thumbs up or thumbs down, folks. Most turn back on their drinks, no longer interested in this tide show. Ethan mutters insulting at the head as he walks back towards the bar. Ethan sits heavily back down on a stool and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. The thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. The body isn't yours, and it will always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and downs the contents. So please go, I'll catch up with you whenever I need another. He lifts and taps the bar for a fresh thing. Leave. You turn your heel and they're out on the lying dark, in the sweat stench of the compressor. You walk hard, fast down the walkway, anger driving your footfalls onto the metal of the rim like hammers. Yeah. What an asshole. Okay. And we're gonna acquire the stabilizer now. That hurts a bit, but that's okay. We have to wait here, we have to wait here. Which one is more affordable? This one gives us food for dice. Let's try to get a good tip. Nah, ouch. Okay, well, I guess then let's invest that in getting food back. There we go. I don't know if this is gonna work out, but we have the bonus. So let's just hope for neutral or positive. Neutral, okay, that's good. Gives us one bonus. Okay, okay. There we go. We've stabilized our organs and we have rest. That was an eventful day, I would say. Okay. Still have to wait one cycle for Fang, and we're on so many ones here that's a bit annoying because we cannot use them. Let's upgrade some, shall we? Okay, there we go. Hopefully that shall help us. I want to help Lem a little, so let's do that. Because I really want him and his daughter to make it. And so for neutral. Negative. Ah, that sucks. Nope. That's okay, let's do... Okay, that's better. I'm gonna watch her the entire time and just help him out in this one. Okay. She's asleep, whispers Slam, creeping back out of the unit's tiny bedroom, sliding the door shut as he does. You're perched out of an bower in the main room, the slate in front of you still glowing with Mina and your drawings from cycles spent together. There's a ring, the only one Mina has known. With stick figures standing along the edge, the tall one is you. Drink? Asked Slam, producing a worn-looking bottle of Gerol from under the bar, its contents glowing amber in the fluorescent light. Sure. Lem nods, locks a few fingers into a cup of metal tumblers, then sits down with you at the bar. Cheers, he offers you, and you clink the meta containers together. You know, we actually have something to celebrate this time around, Lang gives you a sideways look. I made the assembly team on the side rail. He grins broadly. Clearly he has been desperate to tell you all cycle. Amazing. That is what I hoped. Lem holds up a string. Couldn't have done it without you keeping an eye on little meanie back here. Lem shifts a little on the stool. He looks uncomfortable. How's the girl doing, Sleeper? Haven't seen much of her these past cycles. Well, she misses you. Yeah, he says. To none in particular, the silence stretches out that Lem takes a drink, his eyes fixed on the bedroom door. She's great. He nods. I can't take all that credit for Mina. She isn't actually mine. He gazes into the middle distance. I pulled her off a refugee shuttle out by one of Ember's moons. The colony was falling apart for decades after Solheim's collapse, surviving on the next to nothing. Eventually some of the residents tried to make for the eye on these decrepit old shuttles. He sloshed the drink around in his tumbler. They had no idea what they were doing. The one Mina was on, they compressed halfway here. Everyone's spaced. The only reason she made it was someone sealed her in a weapon locker. She was ice cold when I reached her. Purple lips. He shivers. Once I picked her up, I wouldn't let go. The medics treated her with me still clinging to her. Takes a drink. Still not sure why. He reaches over and refills his cup. We weren't exactly anybody's heroes, you understand. We were private military hired in by Conway to protect the claims in the collapse. But once I got Mina, that was it. I quit. Got stumped her. You saved her. I'm going to sound like an idiot now, but she saved me, that's the truth of it. He looks around the decaying unit. It's stained plastic paintings and flickering light. Platings, not paintings. Me, I brought her to this. She was tiny, too small to know what she lost. But I can't stop thinking about it. He rubs his eyes dark with tiredness. What if her number doesn't come up in the draw, Sleeper? What then? The site will itself without a thought, leaving us here. What kind of life is that for her? You make it. Sorry, I know you don't have it any better. He looks at his cup and pushes his way down the bar. This is a celebration, right? Both of us on the team now. Both of us with a chance. Together. That's right, we hold on together. Imagine all three of us riding the side rail horizon out here to a new world. He looks into his glass for a moment. I think I drank this too fast. Lamp stands and starts to clear the glasses into the auto wash. Need some sleep, friend. See you around. Alright then, he catches your shoulder as you turn to leave. Thank you, Sleeper. I mean it from both of us. Pats your shoulder and you slip into the dark of the walkway with thoughts of little Mina on your mind. Why do I have the feeling that one of us only will make it? And I don't like that idea. Like, although it would be nice to leave here, I think I could survive here better if we finish this place. But I really hope they can leave. Okay, we got the zombie fire dissection. That's actually decently nice. That means we can use a dissection if we need to instead of spending our points on that. So yeah, that's good. This story sometimes has me a bit conflicted. Okay, let's go to Harden. It's been more than a few cycles since Fang confronted Harden, and the sentence since has been noticeable. In your time with Fang, you haven't exactly found him to be reliable, but you did expect to hear the end of whatever plan he put into action. But if he won't come to you, you think as you approach the Havanash building, then it's time to come to him. After all, he did promise to fix a tracker and you're getting nervous. So you approach the bay doors, you see them wide open, and light pouring out of one dark room. Stacks of service terminals sit outside the base, suddenly robbed of their mystery by the bright floodlamps. Figure in Havanash security fatigue steps out of the bay as you get closer, carrying stacks of hardware. As you get closer, you see the security officer taping up machines from Fang's stash with what looks like hazard tape. This isn't good. As I thought, that's what would have happened. I knew it. You again. Hardin is here. Leaning beside the bay entrance so calmly that you barely notice him. He has a slate in his hand, an inventory of seasons scrawled across it. Predictable. Further evidence of Feng's collusion. You see another security officer come out of the bay and take notice of you. Where is he? Feigning ignorance, or perhaps just abandoned? Hardin shakes his head. I believe you should choose your conspirators more wisely. I must feel sorry for you. Hardin pushes away from the wall and comes closer. Don't worry, Sleeper. We have all the evidence we need. The confession won't be necessary. Gestures around all the stacks of hardware. Spying on fellow Havanash members, holding stolen materials, and obsession with corporate data speaks for itself, does it not? Nothing to add? He looks up at the glass roof above and the stars beyond. We are the ones that provide the oxygen you are breathing, the light you're seeing, the system you use every day to live out your cycle. This place was hard fought for, Sleeper. It took work, diplomacy, and strength to stop the eye descending into chaos after Solheim's collapse, not blind convincing of self-interest. You're the self-interested one. More accusations? What have you achieved, Sleeper? Your entire existence is proof your self-interest, signing yourself over the emulator to be emulated rather than work yourself. Whether you remember it or not, you suffer from the same short-sighted perspective as the person you were copied from. You see, Sleeper, we are proud of our history here. Andre Early and the First Union founded this place, and Havanash has welded his values into the station's very walls. We will never turn away the hard-working, the true citizens of the Eye. Hard-working and just, huh? Like you are not? Havanash down the gang like Yatanga. We aren't pirates like half the spaces you made in the hub, or esoterics like those Haifa radicals on the Greenway. We're the backbone of this place, proud and true. We named Erland's Eye, Sleeper. This is our station. He meets your eye. So please take your false accusations elsewhere before I decide I need that confession after all. History will catch up with you. I'm not afraid of history, Sleeper. We're making it here, cycle by cycle, he smiled. If you have any pride, you give up, Feng the moment he contacts you. Know where to find me. With that, Hardin turns back and walks towards the security officers, ordering them to continue the clearyard. Say, do something catches your eye among the server stacks. A crumpled hand-printed box of synthetic chewing gum, penguin character grinning from the bright-colored card. Scribbled onto it in a speech bubble reading, "Take me to Tamber." Carefully pocket the box, making sure no one's watching, and then turn away. Just another stack of servers swirled out the bay. What have you done, Feng? And where the hell is Tamber? Ah, shit. Man, Feng, we need you. Can't have you, like, doing shit like this. Come on. Tangled network of service passages and makeshift tunnels cut through the spokes as if it were hive. Scale the spoke booster with precursor elevators and stairways. The spoke can be navigated from outside, but the climber craves bravery. Okay. I'm gonna use all of our good actions here, because I'm really curious. Spoke climber, okay. Transit center, hub access. Import, export, what do you take? You take any kind of scraps, okay. There's one more fund scrap. That's a bit expensive. But maybe we can get that eventually. Okay, so I Central Hub. Let's see. Oh, wow. Station main dock, room access elevator. Let's go to the main dock. Okay, let's go and get something out of the manifest, hopefully. Okay, it gives us a little bit of information about the bay. Take the sand card to the outer rim. And we have the main name. Steal a shipment. Let's try. Thank you for the stretch. And welcome. Okay, we got the neutral con, that's pretty good. So this is a little bit more work. Okay, that's amazing. We wanna cross the gap. 125 is a decent bit, huh? Okay. Well, that's actually pretty good. So, Sabine, that's gonna take a little while. I wanna find Fang. This is gonna be expensive. So I need a bit more money. Sabine is done. 4 cycles have been set, and here you are right on time with no sign of them. You wait a while in the apartment. The dread descending as the cycle spins on, but they should be here. Check the terminal. You check and double the terminal for messages or recordings. Nothing. Check the door. Pace back and forth around the apartment. The rumbling of station suddenly so present and loud. You got the door and open it to an empty corridor. You close it again. Turn to settle down. To wait. You sit on the bunk and stare at the tiny room. Where the hell are they? A knock at the door. Another knock. A flash, small and possibly bright, cuts through the handle on of the door. It sounds as it swings open. A figure stands in the door. Immediately you know that you cannot read. Immediately you know it's not Sabine. They're tall, sharp, and something in their face glints in the half-light. A dark shape, like a stubby baton, hangs loosely from their hand. A local sleeper. Good to finally meet you. She steps into the apartment, glancing around with sharp eyes. What may I ask are you doing here? She fixes you with a steady and wavering stare. This would be much more pleasant if we remain friendly, don't you think? She walks past you into the apartment, glancing around. Set them up here, you know. This place is one of ours. She picks up a glass from the dispenser and inspects it. People always seem to forget to put them where they are. She glances at you. And I suppose you're here to help? Something like that. Good, good. She puts the glass down and turns to face you. I love to meet helpers. We need so many, but can't find so few with the right skills. She spins the baton on her fingers by her side, her eyes not leaving yours. We have a problem, you and I. It seems our friend has disappeared, left without even saying goodbye, which means they're in another trouble now. But it's the kind of trouble that you need help for, so I thought I'd come down here and take a look at their little hidey hole, and there you are to help. She looks through the threads on the side. And what helps Sleeper, no less, which I have to admit is a little surprising. It suggests to me that a friend hasn't been very honest with you either. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to report that before we got them set up here, Sabine was working for your owners. As an art. I kind of figured that because she knew a bit too much about certain things. And, like, she knew that the stabilizer looks to be actually, like, the right thing. So, blink hard at the news, unsure how to take it. Prove it. Happily, she crosses to the next room and you follow silently. She shits as oh my goodness. Oh, cannot read. Oh. She sits at the terminal and touches a button on one of the access ports. Spark, then the terminal screen skips. Encrypted folders emptying themselves before your eyes. The flicker of files you see SNR letterheads and code forms reported laden with medical data marked with the corporate logo, like the citadel of some cult. Rabia steps away from the terminal. Look all you want, some of your files may even be there. The volume of documents is overwhelming, but they seem to be mostly reports on early emulation tests, surveys with sleeper candidates, reams and reams of it. Reams? Of usage data. If Savine was an SNR employee, why did they help you? Because I have the feeling they're doing that to actually get out of that kind of thing that happened. I have the feeling, like, I had the feeling before that she actually wants to help the people that got into that. Like, she worked for them and discovered, oh my goodness, they are so bad. Rabia reaches over and places a valve stabilizer on the desk, breaking your concentration. Shimmers in the screen light. It's viscous, clear liquid crystalline with the glass. We will of course keep up the supply. We are more than able to dispense important medicines, even without the doctor. You hold it between your fingers and for a tiny moment you have the urge to crush the subject for the power it has over you. I'll ask Toshiro to make those a little cheaper for you. He'll be running the surgery now. Rabia closes up the briefcase up and holds it at her side. We have to retrieve our assets, of course, but I'm sure you understand. Toshiro? Hold on. That is the guy. So they are linked. Okay, that is amazing. That means we may be able to bring them together and have our tech work with the medic to hopefully get us out of the dilemma of the tracker and needing the stabilizer. Because let's face it, we cannot leave for another life, another place without the stabilizer, or without figuring out a way to get out of having to use it. There's no reason for us to be enemies, Sleeper. Come see me. I keep an office nearby. We have good work to do, you and I. Meet me there in a few cycles. She slips out silently into the corridor. You look around the apartment and feel the fear drain out of your body to reveal the tiredness beneath. Okay, I can wait there. Okay. Again, we need more money. So let's see if we can get it somewhere. Let's do the dangerous one. And let's deal with a full. I want to do 2, I don't want to do more. But this is amazing. And we got 2 cups, that is pretty good. Yeah, let's do this one. Okay, that's nice. And I doubt this will work, but maybe. Whatever, we got a bit of money out of that. And we will get a bit more if we trade in some of the stuff we have. So yeah, 125, no, 150, okay. 150, that's okay. Let's trade in the ones we have already. Although these 2 we can, I think, trade here if I remember correctly. No. We need to sell the full ship mine and not the fragments, okay. That means that we can only trade them Was it? I think it was here. Yeah. Can supply fragments for money, which is helpful. We only have 2 caps. We need 3 to upgrade the food stuff. I have the feeling upgrading it will actually be kind of useful. But we need 1 more. 1 more. And I guess to steal, probably, which I'm not too happy about, but okay. Let's end the cycle. I don't want to waste the stabilizer. I know I'm starving, but I need to first pay off my debt. Compressor's quiet today. The usual crowd are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spaces and a few drunks. Ethan is still in the same stool in the same pool of light. Said hello close to the bar, and the bartender ignoring him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper! He turns to look at you. Time to pay it up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take the shit. The bartender ignores Ethan. It seems they cut him off. Hey! He slams a hand on the bar. Come take the shit. The bartender ignores him. Ethan lets out a huge sigh and rubbing his eyes with palms. He reaches towards his holster. His lips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters on the bar and falls on the floor, bouncing into the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan and pulls out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun. If you would. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. I'm pointing the gun at him. The bartender seems to be a good person, and I don't want to, like, you know, the thing is, like, the people in there are much more worth to have interactions with than Ethan himself. Turns his head in your direction a little, sharp pale eye looking with yours. The bartender backs away. Oh, turns on the stool. Oh, sleeper. This is more like it. Wait. He held the gun steadily, training on his head. Ethan smiled. It's like the dog that caught the car. Turns to the bartender and mock whisper. I'm not sure they know what to do with it. And keep the gun on Ethan. Ethan smiles at the bartender. Oh well. And grabs the gun, slamming it back into your face in a single move. Stagger back and drop a knee. Somewhere nearby the gun clatters onto the surface and hits a glacier blow. The hit a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. To the blur you see Ethan wrestle a small thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this. Unlock the job and calling it in. Ethan taps at the slate. No more praying. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting a dull echo in your ringing ears. Starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. Crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face closer, his breath heavy with drink. Snarp just screwed me. He grins manically. They cancelled the contract. Stands up. They cancelled the contract! Shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. Stand up, struggling on your feet, the sting of hit fading, Ethan's rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. I killed all of you, he screams. He stumbles onto the wall, spinning away towards the door. I'll be back for that, he shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. The thing is, he just lost his job, basically. Isn't that quite nice? I like the hard to kill thing, so I'm kind of wanna, you know. I like these two. Reroll all of your dice once per cycle. Cryo actions are discounted by 20. I don't know. I like the other two a great bit. Seems to be useful in general though. But yeah, that means we didn't have to pay, and that means we can pay for passage. And I guess that means we can now constantly, I don't know if it's constantly or not, I hope it is. As you step into the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. Turn to see an unfamiliar spacer, laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down as if daring you to respond. Sorry. She adjusts the strap on her shoulder, holding up a hand in recognition before setting off down the corridor. A stubborn ex-XPR spacer. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, not a problem. You're sweet. Peeker. Cautious ex-XPR spacer. Peek. Ash stands further down the corridor, glowing at her friend. She chops the air, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she's rushing to. Peek raised her eyebrows at you. Ash, please, do you want everyone in the station to hate us? Ash hardens. They want to hate us. They can't hate us. She drops her rifle. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up the damn cordons. Cordon? Peek gestures in your direction. See, they don't even know what you're talking about. The station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. I'm not saying they are part of administration, she jerked her head in your direction, but I'm saying we need to get these supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. Can I help? See, Ash, help. Isn't that exactly what we need right now? Peek! Ash rolls her eyes. Peek ignores her. We are with the refugees, the ones Havener have shrouded off from entering the station. Ash interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the eye to begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk and are running out of supplies, while the right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. She quickly looks away annoyed at her own outburst. She's right. People are trapped out here and... They turn to Ash. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They held up a hand to stop Ash interrupting, but Ash turns away, running under a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. That's difficult. Peek forces a smile. Peek, please, Ash gathers herself and the supplies. Ash, we need help, just like the refugees need us. We need the others too. Smile at her. Peek turns to you. Come find us in the climbing briar. It's docked at the Broke Spoke, past the greenway in the wastes. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Ash turns to leave and Peek follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Ash thoughts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. You want help? Show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they appear around the corner. Ash already picks up speed as Peek calls first to slow down. A refugee flotilla? Where are they coming from, and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. A greenway, huh? Map the pathway or walk the greenway. Either way, they're gonna activate going green. Neutral, huh? And this one is a bit better. Cost a +1. Okay. Let's try once more and hope we fill it. Bam! So we have the aviary, the mushroom growth, farm stacks, and they have the hypercommune. This is a long ship. The waste. We're in the agricultural system, so climb in the briar. Escape the XPR ship. And I guess this is the end of the station. This is way longer. Okay, episode. Flux is the first of 3 episode like updates. All 3 episodes, Relax, Refugee and Purge are now available. Okay, light gameplay. So not right now. I want the mushrooms, that sounds quite nice. Okay, we can get scraps from here, that is amazing because we didn't have any scrap supply before. We need more intuition. That's not helpful. We have the farm stacks. Okay, let's try this. Also, we need food. Neutral. Okay, that's more than I had hoped for. That's great. Let's go back. Can we cross any time or? Okay, we don't need to pay anymore. That's good. Let's get some food. Is there anything useful here? Some Havana stuff, but we cannot even sell that. Can do some of the Yatanga stuff if we wanna get some money from that. Is there more we can hack here? No. Okay, this hacking or the node stuff is limited to until there. Let's do the end of cycle thing then. We don't need stabilizer yet. Guess once we drop back to 3 again, that could be useful, but right now. Okay, that is actually pretty good. That has turned to 6. We can go to Rabaya. As you approach the address, Rabaya gave you a heavy hand falls on your shoulder. What's your business here? The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving a hint of strength your influence giver. As you turn, you see the same subsidiary eyes as Rabaya and Toshiro glinting like mirrors on his cheeks. Jaya, please, the sleeper's here by my invitation. At Rabaya's command, the hand immediately loosens, and an apologetic look replaces the scowl on Jaya's face. Of course, Rabaya, I'm sorry. Rabaya waves her away. Don't worry, I appreciate your protective instinct. She smiles at the enforcer. How about you head to the tambour? They have a delivery coming and they'll need some help with the lifting. Jaya nods and walks away. We need to go to tambour. Sleeper, you came, I'm glad. I was curious. Curious is good, she smiled a tight smile. You have to understand, finding you there in Sabine's unit. It wasn't true where we stood. There were more than a few people on the station who would rather I was dead. And to be sure you were weren't one of them. Well, not yet, I guess. I like your sense of humor. But let me ask you a serious question for a moment. Rabaya begins walking and gesturing for you to walk with her. She takes you down a staircase into the bustling walkways of the low end. What do you know about Hitanga? You're on the low end. She lost. That sounds impressive. We run out of the low end. Yes, we don't run it. People with carts push past moving crates and supplies around the thin, winding pastures. Our reputation is one that implies that threat. Isn't that fair to say? We are framed as aggressors, parasites, criminals. She gestures around at the people on the passageway. When was the last time you saw a lawmaker on the eye? A policeman? Makes the laws here. How not? Yes, they like to believe so, don't they? By claiming a lineage that extends back to Ireland's union, they assume the burden of authority, but they have no authority here. I'll pass the bright market if you work in the shipyard or pay for the docking berths. If you had spent your time on the Lowend, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The Lowend was empty in Ireland's time. They didn't need to house thousands and keep the yards and the rotunda safe was work enough. No, the Lowend was reclaimed later when the refugees started arriving. By me too, The collapse didn't just happen here on the station. When Solheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned. The moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage, some tried to hold it together, some fled. They became a refuge, and Ireland, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone, but many within his organization disagreed, and those new arrivals weren't as simple to corral as they hoped. Rabbi leads you through a small market hall busy with small stalls and traders. Ireland's union was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable, and already organized into hierarchies and networks. The refugees came from different factions and families were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatanga is a child of that conflict, a child born out of the need for us to stand up and claim our future, to provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we're a community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth I've worked to earn it. Baya catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while among the smells and textures of the Lowend. You start to wonder if this place could be home for you too. Where do I come into this? Rabaya smiles to herself and thinks for a moment before she responds. I believe that you understand the importance of a refuge, so I also believe that you wish to help keep this place safe. She exhales quietly. For this reason I would like you to trust me. Don't know what Sabine told you about us, but I imagine it was not good. I will be honest with you, Sleeper. I was never comfortable with having Sabine as part of Yatanga. An ex-corporate employee goes against our nature, but the deal was with Yannick. Kept my distance, made sure Sabine had the surgery, kept it supplied, that it was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on promises they have made to us. Yatanga has not lasted this long because it's charity. We offer and ask for support. I'm sorry for that noise. I have no idea where that comes from randomly sometimes. It's as if somebody's sending data sometimes. And it's not me. But I cannot allow people to go back on the promises. We offer and ask for support. Any betrayal will be treated as an attack. Who's Yannick? Yannick is one of the heads of Yatanga. They guide us. He's the newest to be elected. He's an elder. Sabine found something. Please, I don't want to hear their accusations. They only wanted to escape the debt. They would have said anything, but where are they now to stand behind their claims? I will find them. As for we, you realize that the rabbi has led you in a loop. Together you both come back up a staircase the walkway where you met. You're free to go, Sleeper. I've said what I wish to say. She looks out through the windows of the walkway. I will protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I want to make that clear. Understandably. She turns back. However, if you two wish to come under this protection, can help you return here if you wish, and there will be tasks for you to complete. You will be able to see Yatanga, to see the Lowend with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine, she pauses to consider her words. I will not ask you to betray them, but if they contact you again, consider their motivation carefully. With that, Rabbi leaves, slipping back into her office while you stare out at the countless units, each home, each with its story that make up the Lowend. They have a point, I think. But the thing also is, I think we need them. Considering that we might actually get a chance to get out of needing the stuff, the stabilizer stuff. You know what I mean? I wanna see if I can do some of the work. I wanna get the fungus and things like that. And actually having the aviary made into a garden, back into a garden, I think would be amazing. So would be amazing if this would work out. I don't expect it to. Ah, neutral. Barely not. That's okay. Got a decent bit. We didn't get any money or any food though, and we are actually quite low on that. So that's a bit bad, but I think we can manage as long as we don't drop too much of the stabilizer, because I don't have the money to buy more at the moment. Please don't drop below this. It likely will, right? Okay, we're good. Okay. We need to work a bit at the cafe place here to get food, because we don't have money. Let's do that. Okay, and then let's go back and finish the fungus stuff, or the helping stuff. Let's cross the greenway again and finish this up. Yeah, where does that sound come from? That's so annoying. Okay, we got it. The crop of the aviary has created rich medium in which you can place the spores from the growths that grow well here. Okay, that is amazing. Oh my goodness, this is so annoying. Come on, people, stop sending data. Stop sending stuff. So random when this happens, but it always seems around the same time at night. I don't know. Mushroom grows. We can only collect spores. There we go. I would love to be able to do that, but we need more intuition. Or we need an intuition bonus, I should say. Because without that we cannot actually. But yeah, hopefully we get some Girol cards out of this in the end, but we need to wait for the cycle, I guess, 2? 4. 4 cycle, that's a bit annoying. But that's okay. We need to make a little bit of money to have the chance to get more food. So let's do that. I guess we drop below, so that's okay. Gonna spend a little bit on working here. Doesn't pay well, but maybe it gives us positive. Come on. Okay, amazing. Neutral. I mean, not positive. Let's work a little on the shipyard. Amazing. We have enough for food, but I don't want to spend it right now because it drops when we sleep or in the cycle. Let's get this back up. and get into the new cycle. Okay, let's think. We got all of that, but we are so starving. I wanna buy food. Ah, wrong thing. And I wanna see if I can make some money. Block maintenance. Okay, let's do block maintenance. Gives us energy, which is very nice. Let's hope it's neutral or something. No, negative. Oh, great. There we go, we got energy. And we are a bit more into the low end. Softwood unit looks long forgotten, a project that never made it. With enough scrap you might be able to seal it up. Okay, we may actually be able to have a new home then, huh? We need more scrap though. What's this? Cross between two walls of units, one of the cavernous streets at the center of Lowland. The pressurized bridge is full of the calc of Tavla. The shouts of children, the whirl of air filters. Caster, huh? Sleeper! You turn to see a man sitting at a table alone, somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around. He gestures to the stool on the opposite side. Sit. You sit at the metal stool and he starts setting out the board with counters, or at least to fill their caps, lower as typically used in their place. Caster, he says, by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Neither day, he asks, gesturing at the caps. He nods. The black count is already on your side. Let's begin. You take a plastic die, each pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts. Cast a roll to 6, you're 4. I lead. 4 is my lucky number still though, so not mad. He smiles and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as the cap spreads along the board. As it does, Caster speaks eyes not leaving the caps. It's unusual to see a sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play. Take your turn and roll 5. Play carefully. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somewhat different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Caster talks, you build up a wall of caps, stacking them safely across the board. Progress is slow, but you remain unexposed. I don't mean to offend you, Caster meets your eyes. I merely see that you are by definition different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He asks, sizing a cap onto an open point. A risk and an opportunity. He hands you the dice. Do you ever think about this, sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now? Always. You roll a double 1 and solidify your wall. Caster whistles. The holding game? Commendable. Can be brave to build from what came before. He rolls the dice and leaves your wall in a single move. Well, we cannot idle too long, sleeper. The slower we move, the sooner we are caught. Past you is not just an idea. Concept for you. It's a living, breathing person. Looks over his glasses, his eyes bright and wide. You split from them like a shadow splitting from its caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will wake and carry on with their lives unaware of your fate. No matter what it may be. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. Hold on, I need to eliminate something. Well, it's restricted, so I cannot even do anything here. That is lovely. Whatever. You're again under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under Caster before he solidifies control of the game. I didn't mean to click anything, I wanted to click back into the game. So what I'm curious about is how you see yourself in all of this Caster rest. What does this tang of truth make you? Castellos, that much is obvious, Sleeper. I see it in your eyes. You're eager to make all this count for something. Castor looks away through the glass into crowded units on all sides. But driven towards what? He starts removing caps in his own board now full. Is there an end here? Or just endurance? Try a few more rolls, attempting to get back in the game, but Castor clears his own board with a sense of with a sense of the inevitable. He has known he is winning for a while. I fear I may have pushed too far, he slides another cap from the board. I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. You roll to return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Castor clasps his hands apologetically. You play well, really. Your weakness is not your game. Thank you, Anthony. I was stuck in not being able to ban them without, like, opening Twitch and going through all that procedure. Ugh. He smiles warmly. We have too much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with the last word. To our mutual benefit. He sides his final cap from the board. It's over, he has won. I see. Please, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, he holds up his palm. My intention is only to help you endure here, and I'm able, and if I'm able, feed my curiosity. Reading be hard. The game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more, the calls, the children, the deliveries, the arguments and reconciliations. They wash over you as you stand and leave. Castor nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you play the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you're sure was there. A wireless stabilizer for 5 Yatanga data? Or for Havanash product codes? We have like 1. Okay, not too bad. Maybe in the future. But what I wanna do... No, hold on. Scraps were... Let's go back to scraps. I remember where scraps were. Not yet, not yet. I want this. Scrap components. And scrap components, okay. We have 3. Wanted to see what they give us in the other place. Maybe it gives us a bit more. We don't know. No idea. I wanted to see if we can repair this. We need 4 though, and we only have 3, but that's okay. Can get 1 more. If we can make this our home, I have the feeling this would be a bit more central and a bit better to have as like a, you know, as a place, because we're currently living in a container. You know, maybe not the best. Okay, we haven't looked at any data so far. I want to focus on getting some more scraps and get a new home and maybe help them out in the Haifa community a bit. Maybe it gives us something. So for scraps, amazing. Positive outcome. I didn't want to spend my whole thing on there. This gives us a bit more. Nice. So 2 of those. And it feeds us, that's amazing. This one needs 1 more. Let's repair the home. Now I want to work on the... Let's work on the ship. No, I want to work on there. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Well, the materials unit now needs ceiling section by section to be usable. It's a laborious task, but yeah, come, it's worth it. Gives us a maker department bonus. Place to call your own, yeah, I kind of like that. Let's hope for neutral. Oh, that's okay. We can finish that up tomorrow. But I also need to spend a little bit on working, because we don't know what will happen with the hunter and things like that. Okay, spent a little bit on repairing the place, because this is gonna happen soon. Nice. Nice. And nice. Find a place to make yours. Can sunbathe. Can feed a stray. Crumble them into the tray, something moves in the shadow. Okay. Maybe we can get a pet. Oh, how cute! The stray! Stray hops onto work surface and looks out of the unit's small window. It doesn't acknowledge your presence, it just sits here beside a tray of crumbled crackers staring at the low end. What's this cat's story? Are there more on the station? You haven't seen another in the low end. But this is in this vast megastructure that means little. There could be a whole colony of cats like this one down the warrens. Look at its sleek dark fur, sharp eyes. It doesn't look ragged, it looks at home. In fact, its presence in the unit makes you wonder if this is Stray's apartment which you're squatting in. Watch it. Though the stray is looking out the station, you feel its attention on you, waiting for you to spring your trap. You remain relaxed and watch as something flickers in its eyes, perhaps the reflection of a passing ship. Stray settles a little and starts eating, hacking at the broken crackers. You don't remember even having been this ever having been this close to an animal. It triggers something in you, a recognition of a life totally unlike your own, but still somehow connected, parallel, even interwoven. Stray licks crumbs from its fur. Do you like it, dear? The stray flicks the tail at the sound of your voice. It's hard to imagine the stray liking anything, or at least being vulnerable enough to admit it, but the stray's pleasure at existing here, in this place, shines through its every sinew? It's not that the stray is always happy on the eye, but that the stray is engaged by this place. It's alive here. I wanna Google that word real quick. I guess that's my daily English lesson, so to speak. Ah. Okay. You turn your eyes on the window, one that the stray looks out of, and you both watch the stars and the ships together. You feel something pass between you and the stray, a kind of acknowledgement of each other, a sense that each of you might share something with the other. Point of connection. Then all at once the stray yawns wide, hops down from the unit and brushes along your legs. Then it's gone, out through the unit door and back to the corridors of the low end. Okay, that's cute. But yeah, we need to work a lot, and I wanted to work on the... Oh yeah. We need more intrusion. We need a bonus to be able to do the other, the harvesting of the... Actually, let's harvest some, if we can. come on. Aw. Please? Ah, at least positive energy, yeah. That's okay. Sleep in a new home, shall we? It's a bit annoying. I wanted to get some fungi, but I guess, you know, to have the amphistol, if it upgraded, I forgot. Can we still, like, interact with this one here? We can in the empty container, but I kind of want to live in the home here. I hope it's okay that we actually live here, but I think so. Let's feed the stray once every cycle and hope it does something. But yeah, let's try and get a fungus, and then hopefully we can get something out of it for the food stuff. Let's hope we get positive. Yay! We got it. We got 3 caps. Let's go back to the food stalls. We need to work a little. This is making me a bit anxious, so I'm gonna spend the rest on that. Gyral fricassee. Does it do something? Amphis is working on gathering the ingredients and preparing the mushrooms. He doesn't like to rush these things. Okay, that's nice. Let's work some then. Ah, damn it, I missed the merchant. Cannot buy scraps, and the unloading brings us technically 30. Let's see what the hub would bring us. No. I wanna figure out at least a little bit of the hub. Let's do this. Brings us 2, that's amazing. Okay. Let's do the gimbal launch. Spacebar. Sets us on spinning spheres with climbs to produce therapeutic gravitational effects. It doesn't, but they sell food. Let's get some food, we're quite low on that. And I know when we work it doesn't fill. Does give a lot of energy, that's nice. But yeah, we're gonna work on that little by little, but let's actually see. So that technically, and which this has, so it could be 30. Does this give also, and it gives us progress on the side rail and the bonus. Okay, that's 40. It's not much, but it is something, so let's hope this isn't gonna be too expensive. Sorry, stray cat, we cannot. You miss me? Even smiled where I get smile at you. No. Look at him, he's paler than usual, hunched. He's sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. That's no way to greet an old friend. Friend? Well, colleague? He smiles weakly. This is big, really big stuff about you. He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. You remember now how SNR cancelled the contract on you? The contract I was going to collect. I remember. Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed? Me? I lost everything, but let's not worry about that, he smiled sarcastically. So what did you think that was it? I was just glad to be done with you, specifically. Well, the feeling was mutual, except Ethan is the dramatic first. What if old S&R gave the bounty to someone else? Someone who's even more of a shithead than yours truly? Yeah, likely, he smiled darkly. What disaster that would be. Who? Ethan grins. That's a question, isn't it? Ethan fishes around in his pocket for a slip of paper. Been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down. Turns out S&R cancelled all their bounty contracts, the whole lot. Seems they brought someone in-house. Some guy who did so well in the last contract that they got offered a job. He leans in. Apparently we made a hit on a ship called the Winter Wonderland or something. Was smuggling sleepers up from under S&R's big corporate nose. Killed the crew and blew the ship, Ethan whistles. Oh, that's the ship we came in from. They call them Hamwick or Maywick or something. He goes up looking for the paper. I forget. You mean Winterlight? That's it, he looks at your. So you do know about all this, he pats you on the shoulder. Then you'll be very happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hand through his greasy hair. Given this new information I've brought to light, seems like you're in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. I'm in need of assistance in kind. Turns out I upset some people at the compressor the last time we were there. The owners. They say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they are that kind of businessmen, he grimaces. I would pay them, but... He shrugs and turns his jacket pockets inside out in a mime of poverty. He looks pitiful, even worse for his clownish acting. Then work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now, that I came here and told you this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You're a contract, a name on the list, he kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temple. I'm sorry. Sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you and whacking that fake skull of yours. You think I want to go up against this guy, but us, jabs a finger between the two of you. We don't have a choice, so you keep me from getting killed and I do the same for you. Can help each other. Straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favor. Fine. Ethan's smile looks like shit warmed up. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed S&R shit on this way here from the core system. Smells. That should give you the motivation you need. Ethan sways off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. Okay. If we get a positive, this one is more worth it, but I guess... Okay. Nah, I guess it's gonna take a while to work that off. That's okay. Problems, we have only one left. I wanna see if I can sell some stuff. It's not worth it. Since we don't have thing anymore, at least at our disposal right now, we cannot really do anything here. I have to wait for that. Let's go to the Havanash agent, and of course it's a 2. It's a 2. And it's a 1. Yatanga. You can sell Yatanga data. That's at least something. Nay, keynote. Nice. Got an encrypted key. Nice. That we cannot use yet, but that's okay. Let's sell the Yatanga stuff. Frankly, even if we're kind of working with them. Not here, that was the one before. It's the wet dog. Is there anything more to explore? Don't watch. Getting to know Rotunda doesn't just mean you places, it means keep your eyes on your rivals. The security watches the dogs. We need to steal the dog plants at some point. It's pretty cheap, but yeah. Guess let's do that. And got a bit of money. Problem is we don't know when who is exactly coming with the stuff, so let's get some money for this. And we can hand in the gun box. I totally missed that, so let's do that. Neutral outcome. Timbre. So you leave the timbre tea as the hand falls on your shoulder. Sleeper, Feng hisses from behind you. How did you find me? Penguin. Penguin, what are you? He thinks for a second. Oh, do you mean... Mime's throwing gum through his mouth. That wasn't meant for you specifically, but... look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit. Feng guides you down a set of stairs, one of the timbre's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines and connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and conversation bounces busily off metal walls. Feng sees you looking around. This place used to be Fuel Tanker's main drum, hence the name the tea house. Part is a bit of a misnomer though. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available. Picks a booth itself fashioned from some old savage tank or container, lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively. Don't suppose you have seen any Havanach types. They don't usually come out this far. Only you. Ha, not anymore, I'm afraid. Suspended without appeal. Turns out Harden has someone's ear. I knew it. He grins. Doesn't bother me though. Shows we hid a nerve back there. Picks a scrappy hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? What's the plan? Plan. He waves his hand. Let's order first. Feng is right. The menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out, but the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed without a price as a seasonless specialty. So you ran into Harden? Was he pissed? Feng doesn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous he might actually believe that Erlen, who approved of his meritocratic bullshit. Taps on the table. Havanach walks like it should be. Like it was founded to be. They would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens. He signs. But I guess this can't run the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo sneaking up her arm turns up at the booth, slate in hand. You order? Skim the menu, your eyes glazing over. Time to pick something. What's your roll need? Feng taps the table, order the same. And you... She begins, looking to Feng, but when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the... You're supposed to be working. This is your shift. He grins sheepishly. You work here? Feng waits you to be quiet. Look, Jenna, let's just say it is my break. My friend here has been through a lot. And Jen looks between the two of you. Feng also starts nodding. 2 minutes, says Jenna, pointing at Feng. Only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is. She gestures at the table and walks off. What? Feng stretches out the wave. You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus, he leans in. This is the best place around here to find the person you might be looking for. Who? Remember the web of connections at Harden pinged the moment we confronted him? These are his collaborators, and if we want to understand what a Soham executive might be getting up on the eye, those are the people we have to find. Feng is almost whispering now. There's a couple of them. I suspect are in the low end. And well, almost everyone in the low end comes to this place at one time or another. He brings a modified slate out on the table. Set this up so that when anyone with the network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity and mark them. Once they're marked, we can break through their access protocols and get the good stuff inside. We just have to find them first. Hence, the moonlight as me moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly a smile across his face. Wait, I have an idea. What? Look, I can't cover enough at the low end. I loved that there was an oh no option. Can't cover enough at the low end on my own, and so far I found no matches in the space. With two of this, we can cover more ground. What am I getting into? Well, a thing has a hang and dog look. We need to get you out and about in the low and close proximity to as many people and residents as possible. Turns out my friend Minji needs some help with deliveries. As a Minji Express, so you already know him. Perfect. Feng places a tiny receiver on the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marking protocol if you get near any of our targets. So all you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Minji, and soon enough we have the place covered. Feng, don't give me that. You think I like working here, and I thought you could use the tips. He grins. We're in this together, right? Right. Fine. You kind of screwed up yourself over there, but I guess we're gonna help you. Okay then, Feng slips his slate back under his clothes. Just head up to Minji Express, take a delivery shift, and we'll see what takes it up. You manage to find anyone who extracts any data, bring it right down here to me. They have me on double shift, so it shouldn't be hard to find. Jenna walks past carrying a tray of drinks, and sharply catches Feng's eye. Don't think she's bringing a drink. He stands. I think it's time we call this meeting up to a close. Grab the receiver from the table and slip into a pocket. See you soon, sleepers. Stay safe, Feng adds before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. I mean, yeah, we already did some of those. Let's rest and the cycle. Ah, shit. We really need to get protection or disable the tracker. Yeah, I wanna disable the tracker. Hold on. There, and cycle. Also, we need to soon buy another vial, because we will only have 3 left. Yeah. So enabling the tracker, I think, is the best. Ah, that was too quick. It's okay. I need some food. Even if it's negative, I still get energy. Even if I don't get anything else. Okay, that's good. Let's rest. I need some more stabilizer. Let's just work on the tracker thing for now. I really need that. Support. Yes, okay. Even if it's negative, it gives us energy. Sleeper! You see Feng coming up the corridor as you step out of Mingji's, the kelp noodle smell still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. Don't have long, take these. Feng palms you a couple of those metal family-sized drives. Ripper worms. My site has been buzzing like crazy. It seems your delivery shifts have turned up our 2 targets. He squeezed your shoulder. I knew you could do it. Now we nail those snakes. I'm ready. Good to hear, he smiled. Highland's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them, you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the Ripper worms on those ports, one each, and they feed me everything stored on Harden's shadow network. Smiled. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scuff of boots as the group comes up the corridor, likely on the way to place an order with Minji. Turn for a second, and when you look back, Feng's already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny Ripper worm drives in your pocket and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. Well. Not here, apparently. Question is where. I think I said he will disable as an ARP tracker if you can get to the bottom of this mystery first. Yeah, but where do we slot them? Because we cannot... interact with these. That's a bit annoying. Is there anything else we can do? I guess not. Well... can go to the street vendor. Empress is preparing the gyrocops. He has had to heavily adapt his recipe, says, but the smell's already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish white bulb you have never seen before, and he's slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize here in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. We have a moment, Sleeper. Do you have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. Seems like the story should match the feeling somehow. Maybe you will feel better for telling it. Recall Yordle's memory. Start by explaining that when you're emulated from a person, many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it's an intentional part of the process. A way to keep sleepers ignored and malleable, or perhaps it's a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit that you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and that on occasion they come back to you, like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which, despite returning to you with enough regularity for you to think it familiar, always fades as quickly as it arrives. Struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you have forgotten something important, but you can't bring it to mind. Emphasis nods throughout cooking as he does with deft and skillful movements. Start to trail off when you realize you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and how that always fills you with a certain sadness. Sadness of you remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Emphasis finishes cooking and meets your eyes. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles. Puts the wok on one side. I appreciate you sharing with me. He smiles. Oh, but lightens you a little. Passes you a bowl and heaps the rolls into it. Their yellow color mixing with the pastels in whorls and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warm. It's a small mercy, you think, that Esnarp left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames, they're to simulate human experiences, you know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so the need for embodied experience must be met. That's why you breathe even when you do not need air. Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it, to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw powder, so much is wasted, and yet, while you eat this food and feel the warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Amphis takes the bowl last of his cleaning. He smiles at you, and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways back to the bright market, somehow changed. Is there... Matsutake. Okay. I guess we can give him a decent bit of fungus. That reminds me, I think the fungus should have fully grown. Okay. Quick effort. Okay. So you can harvest them, but it needs a decent bit of energy. Again, would be nice, but I need to focus on disabling the tracker. Like, really need to. Also, I need some more money to be able to buy stabilizer. Because we're getting very low on rolls. Ooh, that hurts. I want to actually buy a stabilizer now, we can't afford it. Not gonna feed the stray. It should be... It is cheaper, okay. That's good. We need some actions that give us extra... stuff. Thing is, we have the worms, but we don't really have any... These are your tango. Harden agent. Harden agent, okay. I think I need to go to the harden agent ones. And hope... No, they need like good rolls. Frick. Okay, that sucks. I don't have an edge agent. Nah. I don't want to wake up the hunter right now. Let's try and see what we can do with the 2s here. Let's get some money from this cycle. But yeah, we need better rolls. That means I'm gonna do this. And get the stabilizer in. And I should have sunbathed, but that's okay. And end cycle. I don't like the Mayweek progress, but we need better roads to be able to do the have enough stuff. You know. Okay, maybe I can work with that. Let's do our daily feeding. Pardon. 5, perfect. And 3 for the bonus, okay. Got the agent port unlocked. And work the Ripper Worm here. Plus it will take a little bit of time until I can actually... It doesn't tell us which one that is. It's annoying. Pardon agent. 4. We can do 4 with the bonus. Okay, we got the agent port. Zip the Ripper Worm. And we got that. Okay. Now we wait. We have 2 cycles to the Hunter Comms. I don't like that. Let's go here. So you walk into Tamber, you quickly spot Fang arguing with Jenna. Doesn't look good. Fang seems to be explaining something, but Jenna is having none of it. She points at the door. Fang walks away, catching her eyes as he turns. Could have done with you getting here a minute or so ago. He glances back at Jenna. Well, either way, it looks like I'm fired. Good news that it doesn't look I need the drop anyway. He takes out the slate, pulsing with pale light. Now let's take a look at what you're really here for. Slate's wearing a mess of code streams coming directly from the Ripper Worms as they dig through the agent's data and spin into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Fang scrolls the display with a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dull cell message threads, a lot of tedious data caches. But Fang's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Bip. Blip. Well. Check this out. Fang shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and the world below. Conway? He's working with Conway? Conway Extractions, right? Fang rots. He's been speaking with them personally, got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. Scrolls some more. Wait, what's this? A waste and reclamation facility right here on the eye? Glances at you. What's the bed displays tucked into the waste? Conway is set up here? I think so. Called himself set up in the wastes. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub, but that spoke's broke now, so the only way is the long way, around the rim, past the greenway, shows you a slate. Fang looks away, thinking, Conway may have been making a move on the system since the collapse. I had to look over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago, moved everyone out and reclaimed the old rock. Why work with Hayden? Access, old connection, not sure. Fang looks back at the screen. But if Harden is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So what's next? Fang stares into the middle distance. We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Harden has been prepping, been planning, has to be there, and we're going to catch him in the act. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and then I see you on the Greenway. Seems to remember there's some old service docks on the other shelf by the Hyper building. Should be a good place to meet. Fang squeezes his shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with us. Haven't forgotten about the tracker fuse either, but I'm going to need to be back to my bay to pull a solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a mass-scrolling code. Been working on a fix on my brakes. He winks. Fang grins. See you soon, Sleeper. And he walks out the door, the tambour, without looking back. This may take too much time. Let's... I mean, we have a decent bit still. I don't know if I feel comfortable in that. Let's get this, and then I'm gonna get this as a +1 at some point. And then we can get the ones we need here and just wait for the upgrade points. I wanna see what's up there. I wanna look a bit more. Also, we have half of this. This one gives a positive outcome. Let's hope it's at least a neutral. It's a negative. Frick. Okay, well, that's not good. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. Get the bliss. Ship mechanic. Oh! Fancy outfit, huh? No way, Moritz. You take those substandard filters back to the shitheel to salt you them. You hear the voice echoing out of the bay as you pass. A moment later, someone who you assume is Moritz drifts out with it, dragging a pallet of filter cartridges by a teether. Hey, you, out there! The same voice echoes out of the entrance. Looking for work? Yes? Just need a hand. Get in here. The voice is coming from someone shorter than you expected. She's floating in the microgravity of the docking bay, besides a half-deconstructed life support unit that looks like it might have exploded at some point. She points a wrench in your direction. You know anything about these things? You know, she doesn't wait for an answer. Scratch that, just help me with the casing. Help her. Alright then. She deftly moves around the unit, making space for you beside the central seam in the dent case. Just take a grip here and lift it out and up, then I can get in and unbolt it. She whacks the unit with the winch. Whole thing is twisted to shit. You take your fingers on the casing and lift it away, the metal squealing from the force. She pulls her hand under, spinning the wrench and slip out the bolts, catching them in her other hand when they spiral free. All good. The casing lifts off, revealing the ornate piping of the unit's interior. She whistles at the mess of ducts and filters. By the way, everyone calls me Bliss. She pats you on the shoulder, offering a little way of an explanation. Is this your bay? It's for now, yeah. Whether I like it or not. She looks at you like it means something. Bliss starts pushing and pulling at the ductwork, looking for fractured pipes. We haggle for contracts, but the good ones get snapped up quick by the bigger bays, so here I'm trying to get this empty unit running again for one of the freelance tugs. Small-time stuff. Hold this, she whips out a ribbed pipe and hands it to you like a freshly caught fish. We turn stuff around fast and neat, and maybe we get a chance at landing something bigger. Something starts hissing in the unit, and Bliss quiets it with a precise whack. Sound like some of the old vending machines that you just have to give a whack sometimes. But to be honest with you, the way things are going, I can already see the other crews licking the lips ready to take this place over. She looks up at you. I'm almost out of luck. What happened? Long story, some people just can't keep promises. Keeps working, twisting aside pipes with care. Here we are. Bliss pulls her hand from deep inside the unit, and out it comes, clutching a lump cube, scorched black. This thing must have overloaded and popped half of itself out the side. You both duck down on the side of the unit and spot the exit one, its edge fringed with more scorch marks. Grab me a replacement converter from the racks, will you? Head to the rack. Kick off from the unit and drift over to the wall racks where a catalogue of parts sit secure in clamps. Colored tape and scrawled notes flutter across the wall. Complex organizational system of Bliss' own design, or just a big mess. Try to pick out the right pair. And the converter grabbed the part and pushed back to the unit. Blood cells out an arm and you pass it over, the converter spinning gently as it leaves your hand. Perfect! You passed! She straightens up from the unit. That's if you want to work here. Bliss wipes her hand clean, looking down at her palms. Truth is, I need a hand here. My partner skipped out on me and left me with a whole mess. Seemed like you might at least be better at spotting a clean air filter than Moritz. I'd be happy to. Wait, she frowns at the racks. That's not all of it. My old business partner, they rinsed the place, emptied their accountants, to bid for jobs. We need to put down deposits, bring in parts, pay tag fees. For that, we need the shits. An investment? Exactly, partner straight split. Bliss settles herself against the unit and looks off into the distance. I guess I look pretty stupid. Here I'm asking a random passerby to be my business partner. No offense. She manages to smile. I get it. Thanks. She meets your eyes. I appreciate it. Bliss goes back to working on the unit. Look, it's no pressure. You find the money or you find someone who has, or you just forget the whole thing. Up to you. She gestures for you to help her refit the casing and you both slot it back into place. I think I'm going to wrap this one up for now, but if you are into it, come back and become bid on a new contract. Something to get our teeth into, something that pays. She gives you a serious look. You can trust me, I didn't say this stuff lightly. Kick away from the bay, propelling yourself back to the handholds at the entrance. You slip out with a wave, and as you do, someone slips back in. You hear Bliss as you glide down the passageway. Moritz, I swear to God, if those filters aren't clean. Smile, seems like this could be interesting. Oh. Space-ish sleeping berths. The only place to sleep in the hub, hacked off a colony ship and brought to the ring. They're surprisingly expensive to rent. Okay, it means you don't have to go back down, but I don't mind going back down. I need to get some food. And then I'm gonna see to ending the stream today. This is a bit annoying to have to wait like that. Hold on, let me check. How many cycles did he say he need? Yes, we can just cross over here and look. There. Why is that you always have to wait for Fang? When is he going to be waiting for you? 6 cycles. Oh my goodness. I guess we can get some progress here, harvest some stuff, get some things. That's quite a lot. Let me end the cycle, and then we're gonna see who's raidable. So yeah, we have a person, a headhunter that destroyed the ship we were on completely and very strongly, so that's very dangerous. And then, you know, we obviously have the thing. We could pay off the guy's debt at the bar. Though I think he should do that himself. I'm kind of keeping it as an option, like just in case. But I kind of also want to have that more of like a, you know. I wanna really get rid of the tracker. Let's see what we have. We have Starlet Scarlet, who's currently playing Stardew Valley, or we have Madame Juniper, whose current project is making a beaded cross stitch. Birthday Sabatande 8. Actually, yeah, let's read them. So for those of you who don't know Madame Juniper, or June, they are a mostly fiber artist. They mainly do cross stitch. Started on some embroidery from what I heard. They do some diamond painting for the call this year. They did some needle punching. They tried to learn to crochet, just maybe with too difficult of a start, to be honest. And they also started knitting decently recent. And some other stuff. Sometimes they play games, but very rarely. But yeah, it seems like they are currently having their day 8 birthday subathon, so let's rate them and have some fun. But yeah, I shall be back tomorrow with more of this game. I honestly love it. It's like, I always forget like the time. I totally like didn't realize I was doing half an hour overtime here today. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, this game. It's a very interesting story. And again, like, I wish I didn't click on that decision. I would have loved to win the game earlier, but okay, that's fine. I don't think it altered anything too much of the story. But yeah, we shall see to get rid of headhunter stuff, get rid of our tracker, and get some more money and help some refugees. I have the feeling in the end, like, we could make it out to the new Starbell. But I'd rather give this place to father and child, you know, if I can. But yeah, hope you all have a good night. Goodbye, Vaderman. And everybody else, of course. And hope to see you all back tomorrow with more of this game. Enjoy the raid. Bye bye.